Hello everyone and welcome to Dota 2's Shifting Snows update 6.83. I believe it's a whole patch full of nothing really, but I know people are excited over nothing, but I'm gonna give the people what they want. It says that there'll be some gameplay updates here, there's gonna be some winter map updates and some Fantasy Dota Season 2 teleportation updates, but whatever about that. We've got some new treasures that are coming in. I do not work in the marketing department of Valve. I do not get paid for telling you what's in these chests. I don't get any taxes, so we're skipping the chests. I don't make any money from that, but we do have a frozen effigy block with Earth Spirit as the mascot for this. Dongo, what's your take about this? I think this is the biggest part of the patch right here. The Earth Spirit type is real.
Oh man, this suggests that Ice Frog likes Ice
Oh my
Spirit,
goodness.
right? And he's gonna redesign Earth Spirit as Ice Spirit and make him just as broken again, but no one's gonna know because he's made of ice.
New hero confirmed. You heard it here first. We have some gift wrapping things for Christmas and New Year's and stuff, but no one gives me presents, so I give no one presents. Let's get to the gameplay updates of 6.82. Could we have good old Mr. Sam read us through the general updates of the gameplay, please? And we'll talk about each one.
I have a change for the initial planning phase for all pick by 10 seconds.
None of us play ranked, but I guess it matters because to get the game started, really. Like 40 seconds is a lot of time for one or two people to pick their heroes, and then they have to reshuffle for each team. It just takes a lot of time. That makes sense.
Some people would be assholes about it as well. They'd wait 39 seconds and random. So it's just wasting time.
Yeah, and go on.
Totally haven't ever done that.
That's about it.
First rune spawns are now bounty runes and are twice as effective. So you kind of get like half a kill just for getting a bounty.
But I think the big thing is that pretty much that first bounty rune already gives you like half of level 1, or is it 3/4? I think it's half of level 1, right?
I think it's going to be 3/4.
It's quite big.
But no, it's 200 for first level, so it is half. Yes.
It is 200 for the first level. So if one hero picks up both bounty runes, they get an instant level 2.
Pretty much, if you're a Roma, you've got level 2 if you can get both runes, but I don't think that will happen anyway. But I was thinking now this makes it a bit easier for mid, because usually, you know, if they get that haste, double damage, and then they rotate at level 1 and stun you, slow you, nonsense, it's easy first blood. Now that can't happen anymore.
It's like
Pudge can't get that level 1
like you
haste.
can go mid lane. There'll be a Sun King. There'll be a Sun King on the enemy team. Gets a haste, and next thing you know, you're dead. And you lose the mid. And you lost the game. You're crying. Your team hates you.
Things like that. This one here, I'm gonna take away from you, Sam. This is my personal hate mail to Ice Frog. He nerfs Terrorblade when he comes out. He nerfs him again the next patch. Now, another patch later, he nerfs him again. After reworking the hero so many times, the guy is still fucking nerfing him. I don't know what's wrong with Ice Frog and nerfing Nagasiren and Terrorblade, but evidently. But the sad thing about this is, Phantom Lancer's illusions already only do 8% of his damage as it currently stands. Now of that 8%, they now deal, 25% less damage to structures, so PL will never take a tower. I'm just throwing that out there. He'll never do it.
Yeah, man. But why would he be a tower slayer when he could be?
Oh man, is he Earth Spirit too?
Oh man, easy. I'm taking both bounty runes. I'm gonna get easy level 2. Gonna go slay everyone.
Man. Okay, let's continue, Mr. Sam.
To be fair, now Terrorblade can only he gets to your base. In the time that you're dead, he'll take every Rex. But now he leaves some Moonwell behind. So it's fine.
Moonwell Gaming.
Moonwell Gaming.
Melee ranged barracks, bounty reduced.
No idea
and
what they do.
Melee and ranged barracks now give 125 and 75 gold to each player respectively. The question, the thing is, back in the day, i.e. a few hours ago, whoever got the last hit on the melee barracks got the 350 352. Wait, was it 352? The 352 gold or whatever for the melee, and then the one who hit the range got 100. But the thing is, did the other people who did not last hit get that money? Because I don't believe so. It was just the guy who got the last hit got the money. No. But now what I think it is, they took that gold that one person gets, and then they reduced. And then now it says gives 125 and then 75 gold to each other player. So it's just to balance the fact that no one got gold.
A lot more.
But now we're going to give people gold as a team, but then we're going to just reduce the overall total so that it's not too much.
It's Christmas.
It's a lot more overall.
It's better that way because...
but it obviously is spread out.
You know how we always joke, hey, daddy needs a 4-staff and then someone has to go kill a tower so that he gets the 4-staff. You can do that with the barracks now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tiny needs the 4-staff.
Oh, ward location to the right of Roshan is now pathable. That's okay for counter warding and warding made easier without blinking.
Oh, that was...
It was annoying, but it's fixed. And then fixed your ward location near Dire Ancients.
All I'm saying though, Neff.
What you saying, Dave?
All I'm saying though, it doesn't matter because Sam never wards.
Well,
I don't ward. Warding's too
if we're talking about Sam, then most of the stuff doesn't even matter, man.
That's true.
Disastrous.
I do not see Furion changed at all in this patch. That hero is not done. I want that hero to be every lane.
I think this changes for you. Could you tell us about this ancient granite golem health thing? If you're still with us on the change logs.
Let's see.
Oh my god.
The golem reduced from 2000 to
right, and then what's underneath that though?
The ancient granite golem now has an aura which grants 50% bonus health to its allies. That's bullshit right there. Because like if you're a support who relies more on farming stacks that you've been stacking, such as in a tri-lane situation, you're gonna die, right? Man.
But
yeah, but
I was thinking of something else that's so much more. People will see this and think that the the big golem in the stack is easier to kill, but the other golems have more HP. So overall, it takes longer to kill that particular stack. And if you keep on stacking it, it gets even worse the more golems there are. But for me, that's not my actual concern. Just imagine if Chen got this golem. Now everyone on the team has 15% bonus health. Now a team with centaurs and stuff who have 15% bonus health. This would actually be fun to see. That's what I was thinking about when I was coming back.
Oh man,
Chen gaming, man.
Gameplay.
Thing
is, sucks about the big
all I'm
saying
though.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness!
I'll let Dave go.
Who's gonna
go on, Tommy, and then Dave.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying though is when I stacked for Tommy that time, this patch wasn't here yet, right?
That one
the nigga almost died. He almost died. So now if I stack now, he's definitely going to die.
Battlefield required?
Oh,
to be fair, the big golem is easier
so you
kill.
you can kill
it's
it.
Like 45 HP.
The golem grants Euro, so surely the golem itself that's granting the Euro gets 15% bonus health.
Yeah, it does, but it's still 45 HP.
Just in terms of
45 HP. That's
just 45. That's a right click. I could be.
Yeah, you can just kill it if it's a problem.
You saw Storm
but
again.
Yeah, Chen potential there. Private lobby games now use captain's mode, creep spawn timer when in all pick. I think this is because what you call that thing? You know when you just start and the creeps are already running into lane and you're like, I haven't bought my items. Yeah, at least that's fixed. Maximum attack speed increased from 500 to 600. The primary impact of this is on abilities like Wind Rangers, Focus Fire, and Ursa's Overpower. The following abilities no longer have restrictions on cast and spell immune allies. Kunka's X marks the spot, Empower, Living Armor, and Warlock's Shadow Word. So, higher cap on max movement speed. That means people already hit fast can buy attack speed. People who hit fast can potentially hit faster. Troll can hit faster with more attack speed items. More damage.
I don't think it's possible for Troll to get above
No,
max,
he won't
though.
get above max.
Unless you literally go an insanely
won't go-
stupid build. No, but I mean as in 2,600. I don't think, even if you go insane attack speed, I don't
No,
think
but
you
I'm
can
saying
get
like Troll as a support in the team to other people who hit fast. Like for example, if there's Ursa,
Yeah.
the Troll can now help him reach the cap, and the cap is now higher, so the Ursa hits way faster than it did in the past. But that's
Yeah.
Burst damage,
specific
boys.
things that really don't matter. Empower going through BKB I think is big, because now Magnus can help people who use BKBs like PA. PA can actually BKB and still have cleave.
That's insane.
That's amazing in my opinion.
Like, now you hit an AoE for 50%.
While magic
That's
immune.
broken.
So you're unkillable
But I have a
and you hit
question.
like a truck.
When did we play Magnus?
We never do, because I hate that hero.
We never picked Magnus.
No one plays that
living.
hero. Can you name anyone, bar S4, that plays that hero?
Nah,
And
no one
Resolution?
plays that hero, man. I guess living armor and Shadow Word, which are both heals going through BKB, that's fine. But I don't know. For some reason, I would have believed that they should have put Omni Knight's heal to go through BKB as well. I know, just to buff the
I
hero.
think that was
Yeah,
too strong then. Hero's already
Yeah,
strong
but like,
enough.
how many times have you been repelled and
It
you
doesn't
can't
make
heal
sense,
you?
though.
You know what I mean?
I think his magic immunity should go through BKB. That'd be fun.
Right. The two tips for Vanguard, Stout Shield, Poor Man's Shield, and Crimson Guard now reflect the internal proc chance.
This is boring, skip it.
Either way, nothing has changed. You just know it. Boring.
Boring, skip it.
Vision and Fog of War, numerical values.
Boring, skip
Previously,
it.
we had any vision between the fixed intervals, it would clamp to a fixed value. Now, if it's in between the values, then
I
you
think-
actually get that specific number. So it's more accurate. Both what those two things mean is that the chances and the visions in Fog of War are more accurate. So sometimes when you're supposed to get fogged at a time when you're not supposed to be fogged, those things won't happen anymore. You'll still gain sight.
But this only affects two heroes. And that's Night Stalker in Kotl. Because they actually have
Yeah, I guess if you go eggs on
like,
both, so
seeing vision.
you actually what this would mean, you'd see
Boring,
more.
skip it.
Heroes, the real shit, the things we all came to see. Abaddon borrowed time,
Yeah, man. I love
increased by
Abaddon.
1 second at all levels, literally giving him a piece of his agonyms
Broken.
before he gets a piece of his agonyms. Boring. Doesn't really change much.
Can you say broken
mean,
here?
if
'Cause
your
I can say
acronyms the
broken.
same-
No,
No.
agonyms takes
Because
him to
Aghanim's
7.
make it 7 seconds.
Like Aghanim's used to add like 2 seconds on each, but now you get like half of it. So now it means buying Aghanims is almost not a choice, because it's like 1 more second. Is it worth it?
It does take, what is it, 25% of damage?
Yeah, it's 35 and
35% of
reflex.
damage.
But the
35.
thing is,
35.
during your ulti, who focused the airbot down? No one.
No,
Yeah,
but
man.
if you focus someone else while he's in his ulti, it'll take damage from him, doesn't it?
No, I
Or
don't
at least
think it
was that
takes damage
what they were
from.
talking
Oh wait, it could work like this, but I don't think it does. It's like if it
I'll
will
have to
calculate
check that later.
35% of the damage taken from your allies and then give it back to you, but I don't think that's how it worked. Because I remember I once thought it worked like that, but I think it's one of those 35% dealt to Abaddon.
Guys, why are we talking about a
man.
previous patch? Why are we
Because
talking
this
about
is
previous patch?
Yeah,
this
my
is
fucking
previous.
I would have
patch
thought that would
stuff.
make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, either way, Aghanims.
Any damage
Abaddon's
taken.
boring. Skip it.
Alchemist. Scribble's Greed bonus gold increased from blah. Extra bonus gold per stack has been increased to 3 at all levels, so it's poor at the last level. Max bonus gold from 30 to 12, 20, 28, 36. Higher at last level, weaker at the first 3. Grievous Greed. Recent kill window increased from 25 to 30. Pretty much it just means that Alchemist's ramp up in terms of Grievous Greed farm is higher in the middle stages of the levels. But the thing is, this hero is not even played as a carry, so maybe they want him to be played as a carry. That's my point of view, which is still nonsense. They need to buff the hero in other regards besides Grievous Greed. I think the main problem with this hero right now is his
Right.
ultimate ability. They changed it to a point where the hero is now meh.
I'm just gonna steal you quickly and say, Aghanim Scepter on Abaddon actually takes 35% of all damage taken by ally heroes in an AoE
Right.
of 900 and
Onto
reflects it
Abaddon.
onto you while it's yours. So it is what I
that's
thought it
fine.
was.
But
So it gives everyone else 35%
HP. And then you have the chain creep. That chain creep. Guys,
Yeah, 15%.
Plus 15%.
team is never
Facts.
gonna die. Right.
Axe
Tommy, can you tell
boys.
us about Axe, man?
Yeah, Tinkers can be good now.
Well, funny you should ask about Axe, because they're doing things to his worst spells, so who really gives a crap? Yeah.
Good spell.
Duration of Battle Hunger from 10, 12, 14, 16 to 10, so now it's shit. Battle Hunger damage from 15, 20, 25, 30 to 16, 24,
More
32,
damage.
40, so slightly
It's
better.
a lot less.
Yeah.
It's less
Yeah,
damage,
less damage
total,
total.
Yeah, it's less damage total.
though. By 80, I believe.
Cast range is reduced by 150 from 900 to 750. Movement slows from 10% to 12, so you're gonna be slow as shit now. Mana cost too high, yo.
And
So
made
they
it-
changed it to be level 1.
Yeah,
mana
so
cost,
pretty much what
you know.
this just means is that this spell was useless. Because of its mana cost and everything about it.
It was good in lane.
Yeah,
to
in
be
lane.
fair. Especially against
I
Tinker.
guess people who don't outlast it, of which that's rare to come by these days.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is now that they're like, let's make it more spammable with the reduced mana cost. But since it's now more spammable, we're going to have to reduce the duration and damage, which makes sense. So they just want to make it better. Dave,
Technically, it's a bit more bursty.
Dave, may you tell us
Arena.
about Bane, man? What's going
Yup.
on with Bane?
The nightmare cooldown from 15 to 16, 15, 14, 13. Basically, I don't really see any change. Like,
Yeah, well,
literally 1 second a level. Like,
it's worse at level. Well, now
What
it
the
just
hell?
means that level 1 sleep is 1 second slower to come up. That's all.
But you never nightmare
Yeah.
someone twice in a
One-
fight.
Yeah, you
Any
never do,
second.
but the problem is that the nightmare value point, you know what I mean? Like, no one ever skills it past level 1 till you don't have a choice. But now it will be like, oh, if I had it 1 second earlier, maybe I should just level it up to level 2.
I feel this
That's
is
nonsense.
I feel this is a nerf for the sake
Yeah,
of
it's just
nerfing the
that's
hero
all
and
it's-
having a cool picture of
That's why I
Bane
say
in the
most of these
updates.
changes are practical. Well,
Yeah.
Abaddon's useless. Alchemist almost useless. Axe is useful. Bane's another useless one. Beastmaster, Dave's favorite. Call of the Wild now also provides a hook and bow at each level. And each now scales per level. Now, what people need to understand is that before,
That's pretty good.
what would happen is that level 1, level 2 is just the hawk, level 3 is hawk and bow, level 4 is hawk and bow, but then they're like imba hawk and bow. Then now they're like, okay, fine, you can choose whether you want 2 hawks or 2 bows. Now it's like you're going to have 2 hawks and 2 bows out. Like you'll have 4 minions out at max level, I hope. Let's see, hawk health has been reduced at lower levels. Hawk movement speed has been, increased at all levels except the last. And Hawk Day Sight has been increased at all levels except the last. Hawk Night Vision has been decreased at all levels except at all levels for everything. Hawk Kill Bounty,
Basically, they've nerfed it at the
they
start.
nerfed the Hawk at the start, and it gives more gold at level 2. That's all. Then less gold at level 3 and less gold at level 4. That's actually very weird. And then the boar health has been rescaled to match the fact that it was never there at level 1, so it now actually has to have a level 1 HP, which is 200. And then the damage has been increased. Slight increase here. Base attack time, slight increase, big increase. And poison slow from 35% at max level to 40% slow that goes through BKB. I guess you can kill the boar, but
Jesus.
either way, all this means
is
for
pretty good.
Beastmaster is you can have 2
Yeah,
birds and 2 beasts at the same time. What's up?
Now, all I'm saying though is about this Beastmaster, it's obviously a very
Yep,
big buff,
it's a
right?
huge buff.
So all I'm saying is that Beastmaster support
Oh,
whole new level.
Now this is
If only he
this,
sat with
this is the
Beastmaster
only
support, but
the only time I'll ever agree with Dave. You will always
actually
have
quite buff.
two
This buffs the guy
wards,
as well.
whether you have wards on the map or not, and you always have two
Yeah.
boards
Yeah, man.
scouting. So you technically have four. You have
And
two
you
wards and two
can-
mobile wards at all times.
And
Uh,
you can use the board to harass. You can use the board to stack. All at level 1.
But they never said.
That's the point. Level 1.
But one thing
get
you have to
value
understand
point.
about this is that they never said anything about the cooldown. So the whole thing of being able to have two could not apply.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just have bow and hawk and that's that. You know what I mean? Like by the time they expire, you won't be able to summon two more. You know what I mean? So that could not be the case.
No, you
Oh.
can get 2 hawks and 2 boars.
That's all right.
Anyway,
That's good then.
let's move on to Bleeder
Bloodseeker
Seeker.
added
I'm
to
pretty
Captain's mode. Blood Rage no longer amplifies outgoing damage if the damage has no
Yay.
reflection tag. Let's see what this is. This is similar to how Blade Mail, Spike, Carapace, Fatal Bonds, etc. work. Let's see. No longer amplifies outgoing damage.
If it's no damage,
No, if it has no reflection tag.
then it doesn't.
Okay, I think I know what that means.
Mm.
Maybe if it's taking, I don't know why this would apply. I don't know if it's right, but maybe if it has no reflection, tag. Surely that means the damage isn't going anywhere, right?
Mm.
Because it's got nowhere to tag the
Yeah,
damage to.
but
So
the thing
surely
is,
this only
where will-
applies if he's taking damage when the hero's already dead. Like the hero that's giving him damage is already dead. I don't know. This is weird.
So it says this is
This is
similar to
really
how
strange.
Blade Mail, Spike, Carapace, and Fatal Bonds work. Now, do you know what I think this means? Think about it like this. If Necrophos is in the opposing team, right, and you spiked Carapace, you won't stun Necrophos because that damage is just ambient damage that's in the air. So I guess what this means is that if you
Okay.
blood rage yourself or someone else, and for example, Necrophos is the easiest. If he's there, blood rage, that extra 40% won't affect that person. So I guess there are other damage types like that,
Okay.
but I don't know that. Bounty Hunter track bonus gold for self for Bounty Hunter has been increased from 150, 200, 250 to 200, 275, 350. So way more gold for Bounty Hunter. And track cooldown has
Jesus.
been reduced from 10.75 to 4 seconds. I remember Dave
Wow.
once asked me.
I think I know
He
what
once
this
asked
means.
me, Dave, will you be able to shuriken toss the whole team?
Yeah.
Now you'll be able to shuriken toss the whole team.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right, Sam?
I'm
Right,
playing some
but
Battle
Nev,
Hunter.
You know, Bloodseeker.
I think I know what this means.
What happens if you got Blood Rage on
Oh.
and you hit an enemy? You do not amplify the damage back to yourself. So if I'm a Bloodseeker that's hitting for 100 damage, and then it's doubled through, let's say, Blood Rage, I'll get hit for whatever the percentage of Blade Mail is back of the 100,
yeah, I
not
guess
the
that would
200.
make sense as
by the
well.
looks of it.
No, do you know why I think that's the case? I once saw someone who had blood rage on them, activated Mask of Madness, and blew up. So I guess this is to stop those two from happening because it was on Sing Sing stream. He had Mask of Madness on, and then the Bloodseeker in his team blood raged him. Then he got Echo Slammed and took 5,000
Oh, I saw
damage, which is ridiculous. So I guess it's to stop
I
stuff
think
like that
this
from
is
happening.
because of
Yeah,
a
it
bug.
has to be a bug.
I don't think this is that. I think it's a bug that's happened to
Oh.
do with the damage. So
Right,
just remove
Brewmaster.
it.
Anyway, on to Panda
Base
Man.
armor reduced by 2 literally means nothing when you have evasion in lower levels. Thunderclap hero slow duration
True,
from
but-
4.5 to 4. Literally 0.25 seconds of slow. Could mean the difference between life and death, but let's be honest to each other. 0.25 seconds. Compared to Terror Blades from 5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Now that's a big difference in slow.
Oh.
Hey, Terrorblade, that's everyone, man.
Terrorblade.
Thunderclap cooldown has been increased by 1 second. So no, do not I think this is. People understand that Brewmaster needs some form of nerf. But people don't know
Yeah.
what exactly to nerf. So they'll just slowly reduce everything till it kind of feels okay. It's like kind of with the Pain Nightmare.
The problem is he's just too tanky.
That's why I was like,
at all points in the game, apart from
2
maybe
armor
super, super
reduction
late
on a
game.
tanky guy
Like,
with
so
evasion
cutting his
changes
armor-
nothing. You can just buy a ring of protection.
Cutting his armor makes him prone. Like you can get a 4-second stun from Mirana arrow, a follow-up stun, an extra right clicks, or maybe even a nuke from the the person in the lane, and the Brewmaster can still get away. Like
The
because he
difference
has evasion and he's that tanky. But getting
This
rid of the 2
hero-
armor just makes him a bit squishier in lane, like he should be. He shouldn't have 4 armor in the first place if he has evasion as well.
Yeah, I guess.
This hero's too strong in lane, too strong at ganking, too strong in team fights, and the only thing he lacks at is right click damage, which even then, it isn't that bad, because he's got a guaranteed crit.
I mean, I
So
love
what
his
are they
hero.
going to nerf? They either nerf his ult into the ground, or they nerf his laning into the ground. And they're trying to nerf his laning into the ground, but it's that. How are they going to change that unless they just straight up remove the whole aspect of him and just remove
So, yeah,
Thunderclap?
pretty much what I'm saying is all these changes mean nothing, man. They'll just keep on reducing slowly. Next patch you'll see more reductions, until people don't play him. Then it's like,
Can we skip to the hedgehog now?
Bristleback.
Guys,
Why is Bristleback being buffed?
We got
And for
some
the
more
hedgehog.
bumming.
What? Why?
Some bumming.
Why?
Hedgehog bumming. We're gonna get bummed by a
Because
hedgehog.
he's a piece of
Why
crap,
do people
literally.
want the hedgehog to bum more people? But anyway, quill stack damage increase from 30 to 30, 32, 34, 36. This is the stack damage increase. I don't know why they're buffing Bristleback. I'm clueless.
But here
It's
is so
like-
strong, man.
It's kind of, now that it's got that, it's starting to get insane. Like, the damage now, every single hit that you do +6, now then +12, then +18, then +24, etc. And eventually, if you get like the 5 stacks that you get in a fight, you're doing double damage
Man,
on your
it's
quills,
ridiculous.
like that you
man.
normally do in a stack.
And you have a minus armor, and you have bonus attack speed, movement speed and damage from your ult, and the addition of the Crimson Guard means physical damage doesn't do that much to him. So you just get Crimson Guard pipe, nothing can kill you. You get a heart, you're too tanky. People get bummed
No, you
by
go
hedge-
Neff
I
spells.
think the
Double
fact
blade.
that Crimson Guard doesn't have any mana cost has completely broken
Yes.
Bristleback. Right, this hero is so good with Crimson
The
Guard. They need to
hero's
give like a
already got
massive mana
insane
cost.
in-game, so...
They need to give like 100 or 150 mana cost, and then
Yeah, I
Bristleback will be
guess.
fine again. You just can't kill him once he gets a Crimson Guard, which isn't hard to get for a Bristleback, because he can just run up, he can run at you and kill you. So and then once he's done that, you can't kill him ever again. Like I lost a game today to a Bristleback who had 4k health, pipe, and the Crimson Guard, and we couldn't cut through him.
Well, Brood
yeah.
Mother Spiderlings, day vision reduced. They don't see as much. Less wards on the map for Brood Mother, I guess, so she can get ganked a bit easier, but really changes almost nothing.
barely.
Chaos Knight Reality Rift damage increased 25, 50, 7500 to 60, 80, 100 to 120 more damage on Reality Rift, and you have to understand, if you Phantasm and Reality Rift, all the illusions will Reality Rift as well, so more damage for that. Mana cost has been increased from 70 to 50, which is okay for a hero with no mana.
Decrease.
And Phantasm
Decrease.
Illusions duration has been increased by what, 8 seconds,
8 seconds.
which means you could take a fight and potentially push with whatever illusions you have, which is good.
Yeah,
Why does
but
this feel
the illusions
like
have less
the-
damage now on buildings.
Oh yeah,
Why is this the but no one
the
cares
thing is, though,
update?
these illusions will still do a buttload of damage because these illusions do 100% of Chaos
Yeah.
Knight's damage. It's not like other heroes. Like the only other person's illusions who are as strong or who can potentially rival Chaos Knight's illusions are
But
Terrorblades, and those are only 60% of TB's damage.
Let's say it's a little bit bittersweet. It's
nice,
nice,
but
but it's the illusions got
The hero
nerfed in
just
general.
doesn't fit somehow. Maybe someday people will find out.
Yeah,
Che.
unless you go roaming phase boost
Oh my
vibrations,
goodness.
then that hero works.
This is just the update of, but this doesn't change anything, and I don't
pretty
really
much.
care.
That's my whole point.
Except this Chen one. This
Chen
one's
Test of Fate
interesting.
now teleports all your
can have
units
split push.
if you cast it on yourself. Has the same delay as when cast on allied heroes, and then Holy Persuasion max units has been increased from 1123 to 1234. So this is good in the sense that as Chen you can never really TP to a lane. Now you can TP and call all your minions back to you, which is amazing. And more minions by 1, and
Split
then you
push.
get Helm of the Dominator that makes 5. But one thing before we move on to this, if they're doing this for Chen, why aren't they doing it for Enchantress? And why aren't they doing it for Visage?
They are.
Will they do it for Enchantress?
They did it for
Do you
the
know why?
Enchantress. They did it slightly further on, and it's not that big. But it's only basically she's now the fastest hero in the game.
Yeah, but she can't call her minions to herself.
It's the only difference.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Enchantress
Do you know why?
like they'll TP to a lane and leave their familiars behind, and then they have to kind of wait for those things to come back.
I think the
Thing is that
difference
people
between
pick
Enchantress and Visage.
Enchantress over Chen, so we're just trying to make
Yeah, I
Chen more
guess.
appealing.
Clinks.
The difference
They
Also,
really
do you
can't.
know- do you
They
know why,
can't do
Nef?
the same thing.
Chen can't.
Like the
Do
heroes
you want
can't do
Chen?
the same thing.
An Enchantress to be the same
My
hero.
goodness.
Oh my
I
god.
hate you, Dave.
To be fair, Chen is
Oh.
different to Enchantress because Chen has a permanent army, so he does need to move that around. Whereas
The only
Enchantress
difference
it
is-
doesn't last long.
The only difference between Chen and Enchantress is Chen's a priest and Enchantress is a fairy.
Oh well.
It's pretty
Klink's
much it.
base-
Enchantress is a
Oh,
predator.
man. Klink's
Yeah, man.
base attack range has been increased by 30. Klinks can attack a bit further. If the hero
Still got a
didn't do
bad
so much
animation, man.
damage, I would say this means nothing. But I'm sure there's some Klinks player out there who's saying this is like the biggest change of his life.
Yeah, but I mean,
As an Ember Spirit player, I hate this.
plus this guy is like, why? Because he's like really fast. You can just go invis and literally run up to somebody. You don't need range.
I don't know.
By the way, you know Chen, can you now get 4 ancient groups?
Oh, what you'd have to read up on the agonyms because I remember the agonyms are specific to how many ancient creeps you can get.
Yeah, it was basically level of your old.
Clockwork battery assault damage
Yeah.
increased from 15. What? Oh, why increased? Anyway, 15, 35, 55, 35 to 20, 60, 80 at max level. So that's 5 damage more per battery assault.
This isn't actually
Well,
kind of
Clockwork did
insane.
about
How long does battery
it lasts
assault last
about
again?
13 seconds. It's a long
Ages.
time. It's not actually amazing
And
as
the
the
rest.
game goes on.
Yeah, I know it lasts a long time. I remember there was a time I got a haste drew and I scaled battery assault and got
So
a first blood.
actually, it's only an increase
That
of
was
about 100 and something damage, because it means that the old battery assault did like 1,350 damage. Maybe now the new one will do like 1,400 damage. But none is either alive that long,
Still
or
unnecessary.
Clockwork could be dead by then. So it doesn't really change that much. But the extra 100 damage.
It's probably
is okay.
because no one's really touching Clockwork in the
Maybe
meta.
they want them to touch.
Like-
They want people to touch Clockwork more. Little pedo frog.
Yeah, man.
Highest
Like a
pedo.
priest. Like
Highest
we need
pedo
Chen.
patch. Crystal.
Chen and
Oh,
Clockwork.
yeah.
wow.
Crystal Maiden, Crystal Nova attack speed slow has been increased from 20 to 30. Frostbite cooldown from 10 to 10,987. Freezing field duration increased from 7 to 10 seconds. Freezing field explosion
7
spawn
to 10.
radius and slow
Wow.
radius increased by 150. Freezing field explosion damage has been increased by 50. So the agonyms is ridiculous if she can actually live. But the problem
Yeah.
with this hero is still
Boys.
the fact that they nerfed the int gain. So even if you buff the Crystal Nova and Frostbites, you still can't spam both spells. So what's the point of? It's on.
You know
what's up
Clockwork?
What's up with Clockwork?
I'm gonna do this. It's only like 80
Yeah.
damage more.
80.
It's literally nothing. I just did the calculation, and it's not much.
So yeah, Clockwork. Crystal Maiden, fix the end gain, and then these changes will really matter. But yeah, the eggs on Crystal Maiden, if ever. Chances are, if you have.
Wasn't it the base?
Oh yeah, it was the base int. So it's like, for example, it's saying that Frostbite, the cooldown is reduced per level. But as you are leveling up Frostbite, you're also leveling up Crystal Nova, and I think the mana costs both go up, and then the hero kind of just... You can't cast like 3 spells at level 4, for example. At level 1, you can only pick 1. At level 2, you can only pick 1. Then you're out of mana for the second, so it doesn't really work out well. Darkseer base armor
She does have insane
increased
regen.
by 1, meaning that you can dive creeps harder, like when you're cutting creeps, by 1 armor. Who cares about that? Vacuum pool duration has been increased by 0.1 seconds. 0.1 seconds, like I said, if you can count 0.1 seconds, then this...
Are they nerfing
No.
this again?
Like the pool, like for example, that the amount of time that people are sucked into the center is increased, so they're stunned for longer, but by only 0.1 second.
It's kind of also a nerf
For
as well.
what?
Because that
Oh, dear.
also is 0.5 a second less time to do, like, the whole idea of the hero is to, like, set up combos, isn't
Right,
it, in
and
most
if
cases.
people
Like,
are
you set up the combo into your ult, or you set up the combo into something else.
No, the thing is,
It's a little.
they
It
are
could be
stunned
like
in
pull
the
some
center
timing.
of it. If they're stunned at the rim and then pulled into the center, then it's enough. But they're only stunned in the center, so they'll stay in the center for 0.1 second more. So the wall is easier to hit.
I thought this was from the outside to the inside, 0.5
Yes,
seconds.
and what I'm saying is their
Rather
travel
than
time.
the stun in the middle.
Oh, moving the mic. Travel time increased, right? So that travel time is the time when heroes can't do anything. So if you're trying to throw a boat, they have more time when they can't actually run away from the boat, for example. So it's still a buff nonetheless. The only time it would be a nerf is
But who
whatever.
cares that, Dark Seer?
Either way. Dazzle. Base attack range.
Yeah, no one
Increased by
cares about
50.
that.
Dazzle.
Dazzle!
That's pretty good.
He
You
can
can now
harass
harass
more
out
people.
more heroes.
We all love Dazzle. Death Prophet. I dare say Tommy's
Do we?
favorite hero. Tommy, please.
Oh my god.
Strength growth.
I don't want to watch
Again.
Death
Strength
Prophet.
growth
Literally
reduced
hate
by
the hero. Oh my god.
0.3. So in the end, she loses about.
Why do they hate this
Let's
hero?
see, 0.3 times 25. Maybe it's like a reduction of about 100 or 100 and something HP, somewhere around there. Either way, it's like.
Who cares? You're still
Yeah,
gonna
she
get a
can
heart.
get a heart, but now it's like they stole. Like they stole maybe a bracer's worth of health from her, or maybe a drum's worth of health from her. Somewhere around there. Who knows? I'm just.
Bracer
gaming,
gamer.
man. You might need to buy a bracer one time just to compensate for that reduction. Disruptor. It makes sense in the
just
beginning.
over a bracer.
It means that she's a bit squishier. Like she was always squishy in the beginning. Now she'll be squishier, but only by 0.3 strength.
It's barely, man. Like, it is just over a bracer. It's like a bracer and then a circlet.
Well, let's hurry up
7.5
and get off these boring heroes and get to the Dongo
we're almost
Spirit.
there. Glimpse mana cost rescaled from 160, 130, 170 to just 100 tutorial levels, so it's better at the beginning. Glimpse cooldown has been reduced. God knows why. Kinetic field cooldown reduced. Who knows why? And static storm cooldown has been rescaled from 85 to 90, 80, 70, so it's better at level 2 and 3. So all around disruptor buffs. Hero is good. Hero is now even better. I still don't know why. People, I guess they want more people to play the hero in pubs, but the hero is good. Dragon Knight.
Hero's good. Just really boring.
The Dragon Form level 3 now contains the Corrosive Breath abilities that's there in level 1 and 2. Back in the day, the Corrosive Breath was only in level 1, then they put it in level 2, now it's in level 3, so that means you can kill towers faster. So, this is a buff in the sense that sometimes, like when you get the Skadi in the 3rd form, you lose the potential to push buildings. So, now you can push buildings and still have that Skadi effect, which is still good for Dragon Knight. Drow Ranger. Illusions now benefit from marksmanship bonus, but they'll still lose it if enemies get close to the illusions. This is good because I still never understood why people got Manta style on Drow in the early game when her agility is kind of meh.
I don't get
It's like it never made sense. Why? Because the thing is, the marksmanship agility is put on her base. It's not plus damage, but the illusions never benefited from it, which didn't make sense. So this is a buff for Drow and Manta.
But now Manta is
yeah,
kind
Manta
of strong.
is strong, but the Manta still suffers from the same thing that Drow suffers from. Like get close to the illusions, they do nothing.
But you just spread out your
you can
illusions.
do that. That's fine.
And to be fair, they get nuked
You can
down
do
so
that. It's not
quickly.
like another problem is that Drows don't usually get HP items to make the illusions tank. So that won't change.
Yeah.
True.
And
I don't know, Skadi on Drow.
Oh, now I can get
now
Manta.
it just means you can get Manta to
Yes.
Manta split out of things, and you can push towers, but illusions against towers has been nerfed, so.
Manta would be quite useful in that hero. I can imagine it would be.
Explain Earth Spirit, please. Please.
Right, this is a nerf for the sake of nerfing it, because everyone still hates this hero, but this isn't the correct nerf. If they wanted to nerf a hero, they should stop you able to use one rock to use 3 spells. But obviously that would make the hero incredibly awful. So instead, they decided to get rid of the attack speed reduce from Rolling Boulder. They got rid of the plus 45 damage, but used it with Stone Remnant, which actually made a 135 damage nuke at level 1, making it its best level 1 spell. But it's still its best level 1 spell because they increased the base damage from 90 to 100. So now basically just means you're missing out on maybe a right click, but that's it. Because usually when you're killing at level 1, you've got someone else with you. So it's all good. So this doesn't really. It's like they realize that if they nerf it by getting rid of the boulder combos, like if you can kick, pull, roll, and then all your abilities are boosted by one boulder. If they get rid of the ability to do that, the hero would be awful. It wouldn't be able to do anything. It'd be out of stones every single kill, and you wouldn't be able to kill as much, right? So they just nerfed it for the sake of nerfing it and making it look pretty on paper and pleasing the fanboys of people. The fan haters really. It pleases the haters of Earth Spirit, which is a lot of people because the hero is kind of insane.
Dave, tell us about the Earthshaker, man.
Yo. Oh, Enchant Totem mana cost reduced from 50 to 20, 30, 40, 50. I think this makes it obviously better early game. You can just like spam the hell out of it. Especially if you like Zan or farming Earthshaker, you can get a lot of last hit on creeps.
Doesn't mean as much for farming Earthshakers. It does mean a lot for supports though, because now you can just use it for harass, because
yeah, you can
they
use it
walk
for
up to you,
harass.
they take damage.
But I
you
mean,
can also use it for clearing stacks and farming
yeah, but
renewables.
also,
you know.
I do think that it's good for farming Earthshakers though, because now there's mana reduced, you can actually use it.
The thing is,
But you max it
you max
anyway.
the spell anyway. Just like for example, when anyone plays Night Stalker, they max out Void. But during the laning phase, you actually hold on to the skill points till you actually want to kill someone. So you can actually just keep it at level 1 and keep your plus 3 or plus 4 levels that you have for when you actually want to enchant totem to kill. Then you can keep on using the 20 just to last it.
I still think with Earthshaker, in a lot of matchups, you use it more so to harass anyway, so you might as well level it up. Like, especially against like any sort of mid that isn't like.
I think a lot of Earthshakers in matchups actually use it to kill steal. But anyway.
That's true. We played with Xander.
That's why I'm playing carry. I'm 008 and Dave is 800. As a support Earthshaker.
Elder Titan.
Oh my
Elder
God,
Titan. Astral Spirit damage
Dave's
has
playing
been reduced from 60, 100, 140, 180 to 60, 90, 120, 150. Bear in mind that this is the second time that the damage has been nerfed and fixed a few cases.
But Nev, I don't understand because nobody plays this hero but me. Like literally,
everyone plays
popular
this hero.
In pubs, in pubs,
You don't see him in pubs. You see him in pro
I
games
agree with
all
Dave,
the time.
but in pro games, this hero is played maybe almost every game. So there's people play this hero.
It's something that I think it's something that Eternal Envy said is that if you want to win, ban Jakira and ban Elder Titan.
But anyway, hero is still good. The order is still fantastic. The ulti is still that 1 point. You only need 1 point in the ulti, so you can put more points into Stomp. Stomp is still good, but I think if they wanted to buff the hero, they would make the physical part of the Stomp, which echoes from the Elder Titan himself, go through PKP, since it's actually physical. And then they can make the spirit not go.
Yeah, I don't understand why Astral Spirit damage, like, it goes through. The Astral Spirit goes through BKB, but the Stomp doesn't. It's just, what's the point then?
So. Enchantress base movement speed increased by 20 to 335. I believe Luna is 325, so yeah.
That's ridiculous. This hero in game.
Gotta go
Luna's
fast.
330.
Still
go
kind
fast.
of boring hero, but I don't know. Most of these jungle heroes are not so great. But I guess she can run to places faster now.
The fastest in the game now. So.
I mean, we're on to the man of the hour.
Faceless Void. Time Walk no longer slows attack speed like Earth Spirit. I don't know what Ice Frog is hating on attack speed.
That doesn't matter though, because when you time walk in, you Chronosphere anyway, and they can't attack.
Yeah.
So Yeah, you killed them.
But I guess they're talking about like really early
Like
game
if
when
you
you don't have
time
chrono
Walker
yet.
Ursa and you're
when you're
trying to
trying to
kill each
gank.
other, maybe he can blow you up now before you blow him up. I don't know. Chronosphere
Yeah.
cooldown has been increased again by a few more seconds. At last level, it's 100 seconds, and ward unit types are no longer able to attack while inside Chronosphere, so you can't have like
That's pretty
Witch
big.
Doctor putting his thing inside.
Isn't that just Witch Doctor?
Witch
And
Doctor,
Pugna.
It's
Pugna,
only
Shadow
Witch Doctor and
Shamans,
Pugna.
spitting Cobra things. You can't
yeah.
put what are the plague wards from Venomancer, things like that. So it's bad. It's a
Different
in the sense
thing.
that if you have those heroes in your team, they have to position outside the Chronosphere. But now Witch Doctors can't blow up
Which isn't that
the
hard.
Faceless Void if they are in the opposition team. Because usually
Yeah.
just plant it inside.
Yeah,
the
But what?
The range
what about
on the
Skyraf?
ward is the whole
Doesn't stop
Chronosphere.
Skyraf.
Yeah, but the thing is, it may be the whole Chronosphere, but like,
Skyrift,
for example,
yes.
there are some times where the Chronosphere is placed in a position such that, for example, the wall of the Chrono and maybe there could be trees behind you or some impassable terrain, you could just throw it inside. But now you have to find a way to move back even further. That time moving back, it could be the time them realizing
Yeah.
what you are going to do, and then they'll blow you up before you throw the ward down.
But then doesn't this like make Void even more like ridiculous? Because before the only way to like really counter Void was to choose like those type of heroes where you could just like
buy
throw your
the
Death
Yule
Lord inside the
Scepter
Chrono
that
and
we've
blow him
been
up.
begging you to buy in every
Yeah.
fucking game, or play Jakiro, or get a Yule Scepter with Jakiro, which is just amazing.
Yo, can you force stuff? Right, you know,
My God.
you can force
No,
stuff
you
your allies
can't.
out of Chronosphere,
That
right?
was changed
No.
in like
No, okay.
6.3 something. A long time ago. You can't
wow.
force stuff anyone. Or you can't even force stuff Void out
Why
of the
not,
Chrono.
man? 5/4 staff's ultimate
Nope.
counter.
Because it doesn't count as...
There were that was
It
like...
used to be the 4
That
staff
was
was
like
too
back
fast.
in the day where people could use mechanism during Black Hole. It was just ridiculous. But anyway, moving on to Gyrocopter. Cooldown area of effect increased from 450 to 600. Cooldown missile 1 slow amount has been reduced to 30%. Then the second missile slow will be increased to 60%, which is
Increase.
a ridiculous amount. That's Terrorblade reflection amount of slow. And then Force Staff can now be used on homing missiles.
I know, and the
But
one
I
we're all
mean-
waiting for.
This is
Force Staff can now
amazing.
be used on homing missiles,
Oh
so
my
you
God,
can just
Force
like
Staff.
shoot that thing there.
It could be used before.
No, you couldn't use it before, but now you can. So it's like
now
you
you
can
can. This
now
thing's
like
broken now
pop
as
the
well.
missile, it will set up and start flying. Then you can just like force staff it straight into someone's face. It should be funny. It's useless because Gyrocopter is
Oh.
won by the force staff. Someone else will have to do that. But then like you'll have to be moving together to be fooling around with people.
I've seen some support
yeah, I
gyrocopters. And ain't too
But
bad.
anyway,
But on Gyrocopter, doesn't the second missile, the increase, doesn't like it counts for like crap because that second missile
yeah, the
almost
thing
never
is,
hits,
the
man. Let's
missile
be honest.
almost never hits. But now, when it does hit, you will never be able to run away from Gyrocopter.
It's
You know what I mean?
big.
Because
Yeah.
back in the day, you take one and then
No.
you start trying to run, and then by the time you're probably out, right? But now if it hits, and then maybe 1 or 2 people are too
Yeah.
retarded to get out, they'll be slowed for 60 and then flag cannon to death because they can't run when it's 60% more slow.
Or maybe if they're in the middle of a cooldown when the first rocket hits and they're still
Yeah.
in, like, ah, crap. And then they get hit by the other one and it's like, ah,
over.
you're dead.
Husker
Yeah, I
buff,
guess.
inner vitality base region has been increased from 2, 4,
Please
6,
don't
8
buff
to
this
just
hero.
10 at all levels. So it's better than level 4 at all levels. And then the inner vitality region bonus when hurt has been increased from 30, 45, 60, 75% to 20, 40, 60, 80%. It's all good, but the problem...
Why are they
the
buffing
problem
this
is
hero?
They needed to buff inner vitality because it's a spell you only got when you've maxed out all the other spells. Now it's like that one level
Yeah.
can be game breaking for a Husker. Like you could survive with just one level of it, potentially.
The thing with Huskar is it's not a good hero, it's just obnoxious. Like,
Yeah.
its only, like, really potent spell is Burning Spears. Simply because it just lasts for so long.
It's a bit like a Viper in a way. You get it because it can do quite a lot of work in the
I think it's
lanes.
worse than a Viper. Like,
Doesn't-
I honestly think
It is worse
like
than
one
a Viper.
spear
Can't
is
get a
worse
mech.
than the Viper orb attack. Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, but the difference is Viper orb attacks don't
But
stack,
these ones do.
wose
Nah,
spears do,
it's just
and they
Yeah,
end up
one of
just
spears
those.
taking half your health in one
Viper
chunk.
is bad if you pick Viper with no idea of what you're going to do with them after the laning phase, but with Husker you'll have to know what you're going to do with them in the laning phase and after it and in the end of the game. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's not so
Yeah.
good. But
Does go
he needs-
worse into late
He
game
needs
though,
some form of
Yeah.
buff, I
like
guess.
Viper does.
At least they're not buffing burning spears. Be
Yeah.
happy about that.
Anyway,
Wisp.
Good, yeah.
IO no longer
IO.
requires turning to perform any actions. This makes perfect sense because the thing is a ball. Why does a ball have
Yeah.
to turn? I don't understand.
yeah.
That's enough about that. Jakiro liquid fire damage has been
Next,
It's
you
not
need to get rid of the
huge.
triangle on his face.
liquid fire damage reduced by 3, 4, 5, and 6 for each level respectively. I thought they'd reduce it by more, but apparently I guess not. 6 damage.
Yeah, they should reduce it for more.
But the
because
cooldown is still like 3 seconds.
It's per tick,
yeah, per
isn't
tick.
it?
4
yeah,
seconds.
4 seconds.
It's 4
per
seconds.
tick. It should
No,
be like
I don't
15
think that damage
per
should have
tick,
been changed.
max level.
I thought maybe
Like-
rescale the cooldown to be like maybe at max level 6 seconds or something. You know, like where you have to wait an obnoxious amount of time to cast it again, even though it's level 4.
Or maybe change the amount of ticks. Like say it's like
Make it
10
like
ticks. I know it's not.
7
To
or
make it like
something.
5 or
I don't know.
7 or
Jakiro is still
something.
good even after this, because as you'll see later, Yules hasn't been touched that much. Juggernaut base agility has been increased by 6, so 6 more base damage and almost 1 more armor. Blade Dance critical strike chance has been rescaled from 15, 20, 25, 35 to 20, 25, 30, 35. So you have more chances to crit in the earlier game with the earlier levels. And you have 6 more damage.
Second
second
best
best carry.
carry.
What can you do?
Yeah.
The thing with Juggernaut is, it's like you get damage from. It's like you know how usually you prefer farming carry to go into a late game with a lot of physical damage. Yeah, sure, this hero does, but its its spin is. It's all magical, and you don't build damage items in a sense. Like you don't go for right clicks, you go for right clicks within your ultimate. So it kind of like
Yeah, the thing is, if
you
still
can
know
PA,
why, 'cause his
which
crit
crits
is
for 10
amazing.
goddamn
the
million
crit is
damage.
okay, it only does double damage because it's only 200%, but
Yeah, but it's also every third hit is a double
yeah,
damage crit.
if you have a lot of damage.
That's like pretty equal damage output to what, let's say, Thingy ult is. What's her name? Phantom Assassin ult, in a way, because you hit
Yeah,
a lot
you hit
more.
it's like...
Anyway.
You hit a lot more, let's just say you get 200-300 damage crits, but then PA will unleash that 1-2,000 damage crit, then it's like, okay, moving on. Keep off the light.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep her up
Magic mana cost
alive.
from 25, 45, 65, 85 to 25, 35, 45, 55. So more chakra magic for everybody. And blinding light.
More
Blinding
magic.
light blind duration has been increased from 345 to 456. I know Dongo has had many nightmares trying to kill oppositions but blinded by blinding light and ending up dying. So at least now you know you will die more.
Yeah, man. I get blinded by the light and then I feel
Die
the
more
magic.
to the magic of the keeper, man. It's so good.
Then keep
I
those nasty
wish
things to my
they
corpse
buffed,
because I don't trust that goddamn
Mana
man.
Leak just to make him even more obnoxious, man. It would have been so good. Oh, it would have been so good.
Yeah, man. Mildly's really good, to be fair.
Kunka. X marks the spot. Remember, the spell now goes through BKB. X marks the spot. Enemy delay from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4 at all levels, and then allied delay now rescales instead of the old 2, 4, 6, 8. It's now also 8 at all levels. And then X, the spot cast range has been.
Why?
I'm gonna get there, man. The range has been reduced at lower levels
Oh
and then
my
increased at the
God.
final level. And then X marks the spot cooldown has been changed from 14, 13, 12, 11 to 19, 16, 13, 10. And then the return mana cost has been reduced to 0. Now, People may say why? Because if you get your timings for torrent, like for example, level 2 X marks the spot guarantees a torrent, level 3 guarantees both, and then level 4 is the hardest to pull off but guarantees both. So now at least you can guarantee a torrent boat if you are good with level 4 X marks the spot. If you're not, you have to learn again, like me. But then the earlier ranges have been, so it's like you have to put points into X. I've literally had games where I've had 2 points in X and then I never leveled it up again. Now you have to kind of do it if you want the range. And since it has so much cast range, now, like for example, if someone wants to BKB TP away from a gank, you can just X them, and then they'll come back with their BKB and die. So it's also good. Let's track Diabolic Edict duration increased from 8 to 10, and Lightning Storm slow duration has been increased from 0.75 to from 0.5 to 0.75. God damn it. And Lightning Storm cast range has been increased from 700 to 800, so more buffs to the track. If Edict lasts longer, they didn't say that the damage is still the same, so I'm assuming the damage is even more by 2 seconds on Edict, which means towers will die 2 seconds quicker. And Lightning Storm, I think if they can get the slow to just like 1 second, then you can actually use this as like a disable. But for now, the track is kind of still in that zone of no one knows what to do with them. It's not really good at any particular thing. It's okay across
I quite like that
but
hero.
it's not. There's nothing he excels in that another hero can't do better.
He's good if you have something that can set up the stun.
Yeah, but the thing is, why don't I just pick a stun that doesn't need a setup?
Yeah, man.
Because then he pushes, has insane
is a
nuke.
good stun. If you set it up as well.
That's,
It also lasts 4
but
seconds.
that hero
You
can't
can
push.
pick another hero that pushes, that has a stun or something. You can just, it's like he's
Think
good.
it pushes with
But
Manta.
if you're picking him for
Jakiro!
a reason. Yeah, Jakiro pushes and has a stun. But anyway, Lich,
Although his
yeah,
ult.
ult is better. Lich Chain Frost cooldown has been changed from 145, 115, 60 to 120, 90, 60.
Not that
Earlier
massive.
levels, more value
Not
in earlier
big.
levels. Lifestealer can now mind control creeps. Mind control allows you to take control
this one
of
is
the
so
unity
broken,
and
man.
Lifestealer is
It looks
Illuminati
really
including the
fair.
confirmed.
abilities. If you take control of the unit, it will maintain its cover. However, it will become attackable by your enemies' controlled units. Sheer Lifestealer's movement speed cannot be used on heroes. Now, the thing is, though, people will be like, okay, fine. Lifestealer will hop into, like, you know how usually when Lifestealers are running away in lane, they'll hop into the enemy people's creep so that they can attack it, right? But the thing is, if there's a Lycan in Lifestealer's team, the wolves are invis. Lifestealer can actually have invis throughout the duration of the game if you're inside. Like, you can use the wolf to, like, or the hawk or whatever you want to go invis and...
Oh my god,
You
yeah.
could
Yeah, you
always
could
do
the
that,
hawk,
couldn't
right?
you?
But now you, as the Lifestealer, can fly the hawk and control it. You don't need Beastmaster to send you anywhere. You can just do it yourself. So you can hijack a Lycan wolf, even if the Lycan's in the enemy team, he doesn't have detection. And then you can go invis as a wolf, pop out and kill someone. Free Shadow Blade.
When I first heard about this mind control thing, I didn't know that you couldn't you couldn't control your heroes. So I thought, wait a minute, you could like infest one of your teammates and control his hero. You can get you just take his storm spirit, zip yourself across the map, infest, boom,
Oh,
rampage.
steal Spirit Break.
Or steal
That would be
Spirit
fun.
Breaker.
Oh, man.
Like, why?
Can you use the abilities? Because it never quite
No, I
states
think it's one of those when
because you
press
control it, but I
mind
don't
control button on Lifestealer, and then it's like, for example, you can, when you're infested, you can select either Lifestealer or the unit, right? So when you select Lifestealer, you click mind control, and then if you select the unit, you're now using the unit, and it will have its abilities there. Like if you're the center, you'll have the stomp and stuff.
I can see some people doing some really fun stuff with Chen, where Chen gets like 5 creeps and then Lifestealer gets Ellen, and then there's 8 creeps running at you.
No,
Which
dude,
are you gonna do?
You can put Lifestealer in one of Chen's creeps. Chen can bait, right? And he can call the creep over, and Lifestealer jumps out. Yeah, man.
Lena, attack
That's
speed.
quite cool, actually.
Attack projectile speed has been increased from 900 to 1000. Dragon Slave damage has been increased to that. Dragon Slave Mana Cross has also been increased to kind of make it balanced. Light Striker Ray damage has been rescaled to better at lower levels and suck at the last level. Mana cost for Light Striker Ray has been increased at all levels. Yep. And Light Striker Ray stun duration has been also increased at level 2, level 3, and level 4, so now it stuns longer. And Fire Assault duration has been increased by 1 second. Yeah, it was a good stun, now it's a bit better. I think they want to make Lina blow people up more potently, because no one really picks the hero that often, so at least now you can blow up people, and since she has such long range, you can get more attacks out of her as well. Lion base attack damage has been increased by 7, so more zoning potential because the hero can't zone anyone effectively. Mana drain interval has been rescaled from 0.25 to 0.1.
More hate on illusions
on first tick, so you can now drain more mana pretty much, and 7 more damage.
The ultimate counter to Terrorblade is a midget with a mutated finger.
Lone?
Yeah, man. How do you feel now?
I don't even know. Man, I'm talking to Ice Frog right now, but I've got him on a Skype call. Like, I'm just typing. Lone Druid, remove the cast time on Spirit Player's return, which is okay. You can call it back faster. Of course, if it takes damage, you can't call it back, so now you can call it back mid them attacking it. Battle Cry cooldown has been increased from 30 to... Why? What? Wait, why? Why would you not...
They read the
following. Read the following.
I was about to alt F4 out of this, but anyway, let's continue. Battle Cry duration has been reduced from 8 to 6, and then bonus damage has been increased from 2046 to 50 100. 40 more damage. I'm still going to alt F4 out of this, and then bonus armor has been increased. Yeah, bonus armor. Okay. My hands are off the keyboard. It's fine.
The thing is, by the way, his cast time for Spirit Breaker's return does absolutely nothing.
Spirit Bear.
Because the cast time...
Spirit Breaker. You can return
Spirit Breaker. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Spirit Breaker is just a bear
it's
with
not
a couple
instant,
more
though.
abilities.
Like, for example, like if a projectile
it's
is
near enough.
mid in the air, and you call it back with the old bear, chances are that right click will still land, and then you can call the bear back, and then maybe they can stand and kill you. But now it's like you can just screw it, call back the bear instantly. But Luna, yes, this hero that people seem to have forgotten about. Moonglaive level 4 bounces have been increased from 5 to 6, and then Eclipse beam count has been increased from 4, 7, 10 to 5, 18, 11. And then, the 5, 8, 11 is like the current Aghanim Scepter, and then the new Scepter has been increased from 4, 8, 12 to like 8, 10, 14. But bear in mind that one hero can only be hit by 4 beams. I think if they remove the beam count, then you could like solo anyone who doesn't have a beam.
Doesn't the ult chain, doesn't the
beam count
change?
No, I don't. You can check, but I don't think it does, because if it was 12 beams on one person, it would be good.
That would be insane.
But the problem is that one person can only be
you would basically be
pretty
Juggernaut.
much you'd be Juggernaut. But the Juggernaut can't be hit unless you like have some way to not get hit. But anyway, they should remove the beam count on that, then it's all good. Meepo divided we stand.
Meepo,
the reduction on the timer respawn has been rescaled. It's now 20% at all levels. Back in the day it was 10, 20, 30. So with the first level ultimate, you've got like ultimate value if you die. But with the last level ultimate, you have 10% less. So if you get Reaper Scythed, Necroforce is getting more value out of killing you.
Yeah.
Right,
it's also relatively hard to kill Meepo at any stage of the game, especially when he has 5 Meepos.
Pounding on you.
So it basically makes it, if he gets caught out, it's worse late game. Yeah.
Right, you know Eclipse? With Aghanims, it increases the max hits to the amount of beams you have. So if I'm level 12, I can hit the same unit 12 times.
So it removes the beam. It specifically says beam restriction.
So it removes the only 4 thing of it.
Then I guess now you can hit someone 14 times with the axe. But no one builds that on doing it. So I don't know.
Which, yeah. Not much.
Morphling
difference, just
adaptive
like
strike stun duration has been increased from 0.5, 1.5, 2.253 to
No one
about
cares.
4.25 seconds stun if you are max strength though. So yeah.
But why
If
would you
you're
have a
about to
max
die,
strength?
Or if you have a lot of
If you had to
HP.
die and run away, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good, but I don't think it's worth purposely going to strength to stun them, waiting, and by the time you've gone back
It's
to
good to
full
run
health,
away,
if
though.
you're
that's
running
4
away.
Could you
5
imagine-
seconds
If
gone.
you're running away, you can stun someone.
Yeah, if you're running
4.5.
away.
Or if for some reason you forgot to agi back, you get more value. Because you have to understand that the stun at the lower levels is also increased. So if you are more towards strength, you get the longer duration nonetheless as compared to old patch. Night Stalker. Happiness, almost happiness. Base attack damage has been increased by 4. Crippling fair mana cost has been reduced from 90 to 50, which is good. You can spam it a bit more in ganking. Darkness now sets all enemies' visions to a maximum of 675 instead of a reduction of 25%. This includes wards and buildings and towers.
Wait a second. Is this still got the bug where towers can hit outside the vision
I don't
range?
know about that. Doesn't say anything about that.
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
I'll have to
And
check that.
then
Read the
darkness
next
no
line
longer
there.
pauses the day-night timer. When I read this, I was like, "Oh, I can't hold back the day anymore." Then now you have to understand that the new darkness has a duration of only 50 instead of 80 seconds at max level. Then I read that, I was like, "Screw this!" I was like flipping the keyboard. And then I saw that the darkness cooldown has been reduced from 180, 150, 120 to 160, 120, 80 seconds. So at max level, every 50 seconds of darkness, 30 seconds of day, 50 seconds of darkness, 30, you can gank unlimitedly in the late game with only intervals of 30 seconds.
Literally only
30
30 seconds in
intervals.
which you're not strong.
And the
That's
thing
pretty
is,
good,
since
actually.
you're not holding back the day anymore, people might never see day again in a constant focus. You know what I mean? Like usually you hold back the day, but when day comes, it overcomes you. But now you can literally have day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night forever. Which is amazing. I'm buying eggs. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh. Next hero is very, very
They
sad.
handle the ogre.
How's it going, Dave? Can
Oh,
you please tell us
man.
about Ogre Magi?
Oh, this is a sad
What's-
day, man. Fire blast damage reduced from 60 all the way. It's normal, so it's reduced by 5.
5, 10,
5 to about 40 at each level.
5,
yeah,
10,
yeah.
15, 20.
And this is like. And then Fire Blast cast range reduced from like 600
Oh, man.
to 475. But I mean, let's be honest, 600 it's not that good when you got a slow ass hero
Exactly.
like Ogre. Because if someone's running away, you can't catch up to them. So you need
No,
that
no.
range. And
No, you need phase drums.
Now it's even harder.
way hard.
Then
Stun
again,
the
it doesn't
guy.
stop the hero from being so goddamn tanky. So he's still never
but
gonna
the thing
die
is,
anyway.
He'll never
Yeah,
die.
but now you don't
you'll
do as
never
much
stun,
damage
because
either.
everyone will outrun you.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, this is the alchemist treatment where you'll never stun anyone again.
It's all about you need phase boost.
Now you
now.
need like a 4-staff or
Phase
a
boost
blink.
ogre.
But then you never. Yeah, but if you get phase boost, you're never gonna have mana. Ever.
Oh man.
Ever.
Why would you need mana when you
Man,
have
what
phase
are you talking
boost?
about? Why would you need mana when you have Outworld Destroyer? Here are the buffs. Astral
Oh.
imprisonment, intelligence
Oh,
steal,
you're gonna play Outworld every day?
increased boy. Oh, every day, man.
Rip.
Oh,
Are
Sis.
you
no.
going to play Outworld
Every day, man.
every day?
Every day. The insteal.
Just
Oh,
point
And
this
at
out.
night, it's
Zeus.
plain Night Stalker.
You can now actually make Zeus have 0 right click
That would be
damage.
so good if we get the time to do it.
This is good.
So the instill has been buffed by 0, 1, 2, 3. And then the imprisonment intelligence steal duration has been reduced. So you can steal more, but the duration you have, the more has been reduced. But what they could do is they could reduce the imprisonment cooldown. And then you start stealing a whole lot more. But anyway, that might never happen. Phantom Assassin. This is the nerf that doesn't change the hero. Because I think we all know what should have happened. But anyway,
Yeah.
let me explain this to people. coup de grace, critical strike, has been changed from 250, 350, 450, cup of grace money, to 230, 340, and 450, which are just 20%, 10% reductions on the first two levels. Now people will be like, oh, that's not much, and I'll be like, yeah, that's not much. That's like a difference of maybe like 30 damage on a crit or 40 damage on a crit, which is like a right click from a range creep. That's the difference in the nerf. But this hero will still have ridiculous amounts of evasion. She can still blink on units at a 4-second cooldown at a 20 mana cost. She can still slow people for 60% and potentially crit for 450 damage on that dagger that slows people for 60% for 2 seconds on a 6-second cooldown or whatever, and a 15% mana cost. So I think we all know what the problems are. The problems are the 3 spells, not the ulti. Because the ulti has never changed throughout time.
And why the hell wasn't the ulti nerfed at level
I don't know.
3?
Now the thing is, the 450% is like the signature of the hero. No one can crit that hard. Even Chaos Knight can't. So, I don't know. Phoenix. Oh, anyway, so my point with this hero is that the first 3 spells are actually what made her strong, because those are the 3 spells that got buffed till she was like, oh, why are we not picking this hero? It was never an ulti, because the ulti never changed for the past 20 years. Phoenix Supernova attacks required to destroy has been increased from 5-7-10 to 5-8-11, and fixed stop Icarus dive ability sometimes being interrupted by auto attacks. So yeah, a little love for Phoenix. It doesn't really change much though. I don't know. One more hit.
Kuchiki's gonna be happy.
Now, may I know the amount of Russian players that will be picking Pudge now is going to be amazing.
Oh my!
Because level 1 hook
camp
goes 1000 range. Level 1 hook.
It's basically the level 3 hook, man.
Man.
What?
All I'm saying is the early levels of hook are now so good that Pudge could potentially gank at like level 2. Like if it's a support, or if it's a mid who gets a haste rune or something, the gank potential in early levels still is actually very good.
Maybe this makes offlane Pudge good.
No, it won't make it good because like offlane Pudge will just get levels, and then you'll have max level hook, which is still the same range. It's only good for Pudges who are low level or got outlaned. Like for example, if I ever beat a Pudge in lane again, at least his hook is still potent to gank.
You know this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, which Pudge actually wins mid?
If he can hook.
He always be outlaned.
This could mean that you might put more points
instead
into
of
Rot
hook.
than Hook.
Which means your damage output can go.
Yeah, because you won't need to. Yeah,
it's actually very good.
Anyway, yeah, that's pretty good, I guess.
Pugna Decrepify moves slow on allies has been reduced from 50 to 25, which means you don't kill your enemies when you decrepify them. And Netherward attacks required to destroy has been increased. Everyone's attacks to destroy is going to get increased this patch. Blade Mail no longer reflects damage to Pugna if the ward is the thing. Now, the thing is though, the ward won't get killed by the Blade Mail, so Blade Mail just does nothing. You know what I mean? So at least Pugna's safe from Blade Mails now. Now, Queen of Pain.
Yeah. I used to love getting Blade Mail on Sky.
Oh yeah, I guess you could do it, but you can't do that anymore.
You just Blade Mail, drop your one-shot Pugna.
But at least it's a good job.
It's like a gun which has a. It's like you kill that guy and you kill yourself.
Double-sided knife.
You got
right. Queen of Pain can now blink at level 1 for 1300 range. Let's clap hands for Queen of Pain. She made it, guys. She made it.
Wait, guys. Sonic Wave now does pure damage.
Immunity.
And goes through
and that's not even
BKB. Oh, they reduce the damage.
That's fine. Damage is never the problem. The problem is scaring people, because on their BKB they think they're immune to stuff. And then they see they're not actually immune to stuff, and then they start running scared. And then she blinks for 1300 range, and then you never catch her again. But anyway, the scepter bonus damage is still there, but the new scepter bonus damage it's increasing the normal one, but it's not as much as the old one. You can't get Ethereal Blade and ulti people anymore. No one really usually did it, but you can't do it now. But the nice thing is though, since they changed fatal bonds to reflect the damage that is the exact same as the source of the damage, if we can fatal bonds 5 and sonic wave them, they will take 490 pure multiplied by the number of people sonic fatal bonded, which is amazing. But yeah, it going through BKB is good. Even though in the late game 490 damage is still useless. In the beginning at least, against life stealers and stuff. It's all good. Ricky Bonita himself. Blink strike max max charges has been increased, so he can blink more like a ninja. And then the charge restore time has been increased though, so he can't and then instantly you know what I mean? He has to wait 5 more seconds more. But then when he does he'll do more damage as well. So Ricky's is a killer.
I'd like to give a message to anybody who watches your YouTube channel about Ricky. If you play Ricky, please uninstall Dota and go play League of Legends.
Give them the reason, man.
Because Ricky is an invisible asshole. That's why.
Dave doesn't like to spend precious money on detection because Sam buys it anyway. So Dave always has brown boots in 20 minutes.
TPD, bro.
Because of Ricky.
Rubik. Fade bolt mana cost has been rescaled from 150 to 120, 130, 140, 150, so you can spam early levels, and the Scepter spell still cooldown has been reduced from 5 to 2, so you can still spells every 2 seconds, which is big. But that's if you ever get a Scepter, which is unlikely unless you went mid.
Scepter's quite legit because it means you get upgraded.
Scepter's good, it's just farming the Scepter, which is hard.
I feel like I wish his ult would let you steal 2 abilities. Like, either you steal the last 2 abilities from the guy, or you
Sam,
steal,
all I'm saying
and then
is,
you steal again.
I don't want to be ravaged and black cold.
No, you're saying from the same.
But the guy could like get Enigma and then Midnight Plus. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Ags should like be changed from not upgrading the spell, but to actually give you 2 different spells. I think that would be good.
2 different spells from who though? From the same person or 2 different people?
Like you
The
can
same
steal
person
2 spells either from the same person or from 2 separate
would be
enemies.
too strong, like we said, Black Hole plus Ravage. One person is Black Hole plus.
What about if we try and
another problem?
Think about it. Think about it, guys. If that happened like that, what would happen with like heroes like Wraith King, where you have like 1 spell, where you steal a passive
You
as
just
well?
wouldn't get anything. Like, that would be
You
the
just steal
counter
crit?
Platinum Scepter.
Rubik drops the sword, you know.
Shadow Fiend.
Anyway,
Drops
let's move on to that
Fiend
Shadow
plus
Fiend boy.
25 damage on all levels of raise. Woohoo! Literally doesn't change the fact that this hero can outfarm everyone and still get solo killed by everyone, so it doesn't really matter. This hero, I don't even know, man. They need to fix him somehow. He's just too weak.
They need to fix the Arcana.
They need another update.
update
We
for
need
Shadow
another
Fiend,
update
man.
dedicated to him.
Silencer, Glaives of Wisdom, Intelligence into damage bonus has been rescaled from 30, 48, 60, 84 to 30, 50, 70, 90.
Oh
so
my
he's
god!
almost doing 100% pure damage with Glaives with his int to damage ratio. And last word cooldown has been reduced from 35, 28, 20, 12 to 30, 24, 18, 12. So the earlier levels you can harass people even more. And Scepter Global Silence no longer increases the duration by 1 second, but it still adds the level of Curse of the Silent. So yeah, less incentive to get.
But usually people go refresher first.
But yeah, it's just like less incentive to get the eggs now. It's like it costs so much and then I don't get that extra second. Oh, then people cry. Skyrath Mage, base agility has been reduced from 18 to 13, which practically means if he lost less zoning because he has less armor. I'm just trying to calculate. He has about minus 0.7.
And his attack speed is now lowered. His attack speed was really good
attack
before.
speed is lower.
Like, you could nuke and then attack twice, and that's just insult to
but
injury.
now, like, if he gets right-clicked...
you could attack, nuke,
if
attack.
he gets right-clicked, now he won't have reason to trade anymore, because, like, he'll die.
But it's still Skyrim.
I still think he'll trade well.
Yeah, I still think he'll trade.
The guy can... What he can do is the reason why they probably, I think, nerfed this was you could run forward, turn around, attack, run forward, turn around, attack, and never be hit. because most offlaners can't just run fast enough to hit you, especially heroes like Tide. So they've done it so that you now run, and then you can get hit while you're attacking because it'll take a little bit longer for you to attack from that attack speed, and you'll take a bit more damage anyway.
Is that this hero had 0 armor? Now he has negative armor, and then you quill him once his bristleback. I don't think he'll want to stay there. That's what I'm saying. If this guy has negative armor, I don't think he'll want to stay there throwing arcane bolts and getting quilled all the time. He'll die. This hero can't.
Skyrath is now
maybe in the later parts of the game.
Easiest bomb target in the game.
Physical damage.
You won't start with negative. You just won't get. What is in-game? Not in-game.
I'm not sure, but it's not fantastic.
I'll find out.
So anyway, Slaughter. Sprint duration reduced from 20 to 16. But then sprint cooldown has also been reduced from 28 to 23. So you can sprint more by 5 seconds. Downtime, and then amp damage cooldown has been reduced from 10 seconds to 5. So if there's that Invis guy you hate, you know, you can give him the business every 5 seconds. Yeah,
the hero's still not good.
Needs too many items. Can't flash farm. And then when he gets the items,
and he's got nowhere to be put really. Like he's not a hard enough carry to opt the safe lane farm. He's not the best mid, and he's not particularly good offlane.
I think he can offlane now decently, like at least a little bit.
I think the problem with Slider is that Slack is just the better counterpart. They do the same things. They just blink on people and hope to kill them before they react. So why not just pick Slack? They're literally the same hero. One's the tankier version of the other, but one's the more.
And Slack has a cooler voice, cooler model, generally cooler than Slardar.
And
I do think that Slardar could now be played as an offlane, because you're a little bit faster, and all you do is you get like a double ring of protection and some tangos, and then get pulled a few tangos, and then what you just do is you just help whoever's your right click carry deal out the damage, because that minus armor is insane.
I mean, yeah, sure. If you have a Slardar and a PA on the same team, you're not gonna want to go near it.
You play it a little bit like Centaur Warrunner in a way. You can get an early blink and initiate for your people as well.
But you still need to bear in mind that
decently hard
makes you take bonus damage, so you need to be careful about that.
Yeah, it's not a massive amount though, is it? So if you're against a weak trailing or a dual lane,
so Slack
anyway,
damage has been reduced by 20. Yeah, I don't think Slack will care about 20 damage missing. Next, Sniper. Shrapnel no longer does building to towers, which is enough, but now has 3 charges with 40 seconds replenish time, so you can shrap.
I still think it's enough.
No, it's not enough. Do you know why? Because Sniper can now farm 3 jungle camps at the same time. Sniper can clear a jungle by himself every minute.
Does it
no, the damage doesn't.
Talk about
it doesn't stack, but I can shrapnel large camp, shrapnel middle camp, which are all stacked. And then I'll shrapnel the other large camp, which is stacked as well. And then I can farm 3 camps without even right-clicking them.
Doesn't do that much damage,
quite
does
a bit at max level, but the problem is that no one
level 4 is
it
quite
up
a bit
to max. That's the problem. You know what I mean? But now, if you have 3 charges to farm 3 camps, why wouldn't you?
I think with the nerf to headshot and the buff to shrapnel, it's sort of trying to change the hero from a sort of max
from just a right clicker to a farmer. He can flash farm now. Like you have no reason to not flash farm with Sniper now, unless you can't play Sniper.
Power Fury Sniper.
Spirit Breaker empowering haste cooldown has been reduced. Empowering haste, which is the active.
Ignore it.
Oh
it's
man,
boring.
how many first bloods have I got with that? Storm Spirit turn rate has been improved, so Storm versus Pudge is getting better and better. Sven Warcry duration increased from 7 to 8 seconds. I don't know why he needs the buff, and then the Sven's God Strength Aghanim's has been increased to buffs.
Support.
You know what it is?
Max level.
You know what it is?
It's because nobody buys that.
The X, but I'm saying the Warcry duration.
Yeah.
Who buys a Sceptron?
That's why they did it.
Exactly. Like why?
Right, can we just skip techies and all that for?
No, dude. Add the captain's mode. Arteezy is gonna be happy about this.
Wait,
They
the
buffed
landmines
this
have
hero
been
and
increased
added
in
into
damage
captain's
too.
mode.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now I'm watching the first
Oh,
Techies game.
man.
Now I'm
Arteezy,
watching
here
the
we
first
come.
Techies game, and I'm doing that. Right, Terrorblade My hate mail to Ice Frog. Reflection cast point has been reduced, so now you can reflect people faster. There've been many times where I reflect and they still manage to blink because it hasn't happened. And Sunder minimum swap has been put to 20%, so you can't get that clutch 15% Sunder swap and then right click them and they die. So you can't do that anymore, but 5%. Only changes if the targets are actually tanky, but for low HP targets still you could Sunder into right click and kill them still. But yeah, this guy needs buffs. Tide Hunter. Base movement speed reduced by 5, is getting the Storm Spirit treatment. Ravage damage has been reduced. But I don't know why they didn't reduce Anchor Smash though. Did they do that in the last patch?
Anchor
No, they reduced
strong.
Anchor Smash in the last small patch that happened. They rescaled the damage.
Decreased the percentage of damage. And they, I think, increased the mana
I think
cost?
they reduced the
wrong
damage
saying
that the
No,
Anchor Smash
they
does,
made
but the damage reduction on enemies is still the same.
Yeah, they made it
They
scale.
made it scale a bit bad.
They made it scale.
But anyway, I don't know.
Okay.
Ravage getting nerfed, whatever.
But yeah, you don't.
Tinker buff.
The ravage damage reduced. You don't ravage for damage. You ravage for.
It is a lot of damage.
Big 5-man MLG ravage plays, full team white. Oh my god, it's a black hole. I mean ravage. You know, you do it for that.
Well, the
not
difference
the damage.
is now with Refresher, like that was a 900 damage nuke that also stuns insanely and does full stun lock.
It's Ravage.
But it's ravage.
It's Ravage, man.
Ravage.
Shiva can tell you the value of Ravage. But anyway, Tanker.
Yeah, man.
Heat-seeking missile damage has been rescaled and increased by 25. Not so big. Whatever.
You can turn it into a turret. Aghanims and Soul Ring, and then you just literally turn him into a turret.
Tiny toss duration has been increased from 1 to 1.3 seconds. Grow move speed bonus has been rescaled from 20, 40, 60 to 40, 50, 60. So earlier levels of Grow are actually worth more in terms of move speed. I can hear Dave is just like, well, I guess Dave is playing more Tiny then. Tree and Protector, Eyes in the Forest, overgrowth damage has been increased from 135 to 175.
Still not use this.
It's okay. Eyes of the Forest cooldown has been reduced from 55 to 25. This is actually the biggest buff that I love about this axe, is that you have Eyes in the Forest, but you can only plant one ward every second. And if they know where they're planting, they'll deward that. I mean, once every minute. And then they'll potentially deward you once every minute if they actually know you're planting Eyes in the Forest. So now you can put like twice as many, which will make it harder for them to deward, which is perfect. Troll Warlord fixed.
That's why you have to support.
Do we ever pick two supports? Do we ever pick two supports? I think you can attest to that.
No.
Well, Sam picks
Tree
a support, but he doesn't play support.
That's true.
We pick 1, 2, 3, 3, 6.
Yeah. We do 1, 2, 3, 3.5.
Troll Warlord fixed, further stack count being 1 stack too slow, so it was a bug, nothing big there. Hero still kind of meh. Tusk Ice Shards projectile speed from 100 to 1100. Ice Shards duration has been increased from 5 to 7. Walrus Punch, I love the way the punch is in capital letters, is now an enemy target ability and is auto-castable.
Does that mean it's blocked by Lincoln?
That means it's blocked by Lincolns. But
No, it doesn't.
No, the thing is, it's an enemy targeted ability. Anything that's targeted is officially blocked by Lincolns. That's why Spike, the Impale from Nyx was changed from being targeted to untargetable, but it still blocked Lincolns, and then, Lincoln still blocked it, and people complained, then they made it unblockable by Lincolns.
I'm pretty sure
that's why Earthshaker's Fissures are so blockable by Lincolns.
That was another thing in the past. And then with the and is auto-castable means you can now just right-click the item like what you do with orbs.
Yeah.
But anyway, since it's target Lincolns,
I'll have to try that out.
All the time. Cooldown has been reduced from 2015 to 2016-12. Buffs-ish.
All I'm saying, guys, is
beyond that Tusk hype, man.
Bringing out the Tusk again. I'm going to bring out the Tusk again.
Undying Soul Rip max units has been changed from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 10, 12, 14, 16. So yeah, that's pretty much a nerf at 2, 3, and 4. But you max the skill last anyway, so I don't know. Soul Rip damage and heal per unit from 25 to 18, 25, 26, 30, so it does a little bit more. Tombstone armor increased by 1. I think it needed maybe by 3 or something. And Flesh Golem max slow has been increased to 20%. Yeah, so. I think they need to kind of either buff decay or return decay to what it was in the past if you really want to make this hero broken again. Vengeful Spirit. Wave of Terror cooldown increased from 15 to 20, so usually use this for stacking, ganking.
Oh well.
Stopping blink daggers. So now you have less chances to stop blink daggers, which means people can run away from me. Visage Gravekeeper's Cloak, which is the passive armor. The recovery time has been rescaled. This is like the best. From 12, 10, 8, and 6 to just 6 at all levels. So every 6 seconds you get your armor level back. Warlock Fatal Bonds cast range increased from 800 to 900. Fatal Bonds radius increased from 575 to 700. So more bonds ultis to come, but the hero's not picked because it's just overall weak, so whatever. Wind range of power shot travel range has been increased. Fountain to fountain.
Oh my god.
Fountain to fountain, here we go.
Literally, I was playing a
Next
game
patch is
today
fountain to fountain, man.
where it barely missed me and
Oh,
it would have
man.
killed.
Power shot
You know,
max damage
I'm gonna
is
sleep.
now dealt after 1 second channel instead of 0.1 when it's 0.7. So you need to hold down for longer. It always channeled to 1 previously. Okay, fine. So you really have to hold it down for max duration to get the max damage. Power shot cast point improved from 0.3 to 0, so it has no cast point anymore, stuff that Terrorblade needs. Reduce the area of the lingering vision at the end of the power shot from 800 to 400, so no scouting with power shot. And focus fire attack speed bonus has been increased from 400 to 500 since they increased the cap on max attack speed. That's pretty much everything on the heroes.
Heroes are done.
Oh, now onto the
Plus Troll's ulti.
now onto the things that
Now
don't
to
change
the-
anything, but we still love them. Courier cost has been reduced by 30 gold.
It
Yeah, man.
changes for
Support
me.
money. Support money.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave.
I can now get an extra
Can I ask you,
iron
man?
branch.
So you're gonna get that 30 gold and save up a bit and get
Yeah.
that iron branch, man. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Alright, man.
Yeah. Iron
Oh,
branch
man.
wins games.
Man, this armlet though. This armlet makes me
Yeah,
want to
man.
play support Naga Siren again, man. Recipe has been
Oh.
reduced again to 500 gold. I'm just going to play support Naga Siren, man.
Yeah. No one buys the item apart from like 2
Blink
heroes.
Dagger. Blink is no longer disabled if you take no damage, e.g. Spike Carapace Refraction. I'll explain it for people who don't know, because I explained it to a friend. If you are Templar Assassin and you're hit and you lose a refraction charge, you do not lose any damage, so now you can still blink. Back in the day, you'd lose a refraction charge and the blink will go on cooldown. So now you can actually blink even after getting hit, which would make a TA with the blink harder to kill if a refraction is up. No, actually,
Same for Lincoln.
yeah, stuff
I
like
believe.
Lincoln's refraction carapace.
Does this
What's up?
Does this also apply to like Crimson
No,
Guard?
no.
Because
Yeah,
it absorbs damage, but
you
not
still
actually.
take some
yeah.
damage.
Just to
If
take
you find
damage.
something that,
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
how can I say this? Let's just say there's an AoE spell that is not targetable, like Nexus Stun,
Hmm.
right? And now that's not actually a good, that's not a good representation. Now, spells and immunity won't work. Just either way, whatever you have that can block a source of damage, like if you take damage and it does nothing to your HP pool, you can still
Yeah.
blink. That's what it means in the long run.
Okay.
But, like,
okay.
if-
yeah.
So, alright, I have a question. You know how you
Right.
just said that there. Let's say you get AA busted and you're playing Ember Spirit, right? If you Flame Guard, your hero's not taking damage in HP, but it's taking
Right,
damage in the
then
mana
you
shield.
can-
I
no,
don't think. I
No,
think
that's
different.
That's actually the same as refraction. Think about it like this: if you get galed as Templar Assassin, your refraction charges are just going down, down, down constantly, but the hero itself is not taking damage. It's the same as Flame Guard. So you can test it out yourself. But another
We'll have
example,
to check that, but I think Ember Spirit.
another example I was about to give you is this: like, you know how you can sleight of fists, right? You leave a remnant behind and you're jumping on units, right? If you took damage before you started jumping on units, you're invisible during that time, right? Let's just say there's
you can dodge a lot of things
damage on the spot, like maybe someone dropped a midnight pulse. When you return back, the pulse will hit you.
Yeah.
But if you're jumping around and you had flame guard on, and then you come back and the flame guard takes a part of that midnight pulse, but I think pulse is pure damage. If pulse was magical, for example, then you would be able to blink out.
HP removal.
I'm pretty sure you can use items. So you can use items while in Sleight of Fist. So I think you might be able to blink out while in Sleight of Fist.
I guess if you took damage before doing the hopping around thing and you had your flame guard on.
But I'm not sure how that affects the remnant. Like, if you take AOE damage, are you still is the remnant triggering it or something, or is it like? No, I'm gonna check in the client.
For bottles, a courier carrying a non-full bottle will always be slowed. Back in the day, it was only like an empty bottle. So now all bottles. So you might as well just drink the whole thing before you bottle crow. So that's just sadness.
There's no need to have a bottle crow though, is there? Because you have 2 rooms now.
Broadsword has been replaced Talisman of Evasion with Broadsword in the side shop. The funny thing is, like usually you would finish a butterfly in the side shop. Like if you're farming and you had the Eagle Song and you can go to the side shop and then get like a quarter staff and your Talisman of Evasion. But the thing is, that side shop doesn't have a Void Stone, so you can't finish a Battle Fury in the side shop. Unless you want to finish, now you can finish Blade Mail.
Blade Mail.
But, who cares about it, man?
But on the Battle Fury, you do already go Perseverance. I would say you go Perseverance.
But is there a Claymore in the side shop?
Before the...
Is there a Claymore in the side shop? Because I don't think there is.
Usually you go Perseverance, Claymore, Broadsword. At least I do.
But now it's like the courier will still have to bring in the Claymore because it's not in the side shop. So they kind of just broke that.
Yeah, but the courier will bring you the Claymore, and while the courier is coming, you can farm on the Broadsword.
Circlet cost has been reduced by 25, but the recipes of the components that it makes has been increased to do that. So now, like, naked circlets are cost effective now.
So it's still the same price.
Yeah, it's still the same. But like, if you ever just have a spare circlet, it costs you 20 gold less, and then you can just sell it. I don't know why you would have just a bare circlet, but anyway, if you ever do.
You can get it for stats. It's now similar to what you do with the Ring of Protection. You don't make it, but it's still quite
3
stat.
branches will still give you 1 stat more for 15 gold less of the new price of the circlet. So it's still, and I don't know. Clarity.
But it's an item in which doesn't need to take your whole inventory up.
The only good thing, to be honest with you, that I can say about that reduction is if you ever jungle a non-official jungling hero, like if you jungle Terrorblade, you always buy circlets, but you never always finish all of them into Wraith Bands. So now you're saving 20 gold on ETH, but really 20 gold is nothing to cry about as a Terrorblade. Clarity, mana.
Extra asset?
Yeah, I guess. Mana restore has been increased by...
I'm extremely...
15 extra mana?
Extremely happy.
15 extra mana for your day?
It's something. No, the thing is, like, it's good because for like heroes with like Earthshaker, use 1 stun and then you can't do anything at like level 1 or level 2. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty good though, even if it is only 15.
There's an interesting thing with Sleight of Fist and Blink Dagger. If you blink in Sleight of Fist, it will from the point you activate the Blink Dagger, it will blink you back to where your remnant was.
Or to take you back to
the remnant. You drop a remnant.
No, it makes sense, I guess.
So you can't travel distance.
Crimson Guard duration has been increased from 9 to 10, so 10 seconds of damage reduction. Who
Stupid
knows
buff.
why? Diffuser Blade is no longer a unique
1
attack
second.
modifier. Multiple... oh, that dog hype. Multiple mana break type abilities do not stack, so you still can't get a Diffuser Blade on Anti-Mage. But for example, you can get a Diffuser Blade and a Desolator on Naga Siren now, as an example. Or you can get a Diffuser Blade and a Satanic. Good stuff all around for Diffuser Blade users.
Or a Vlad's.
No, the
Should
thing
be
is,
quite
the
good.
Vlads you already got, and Vlads doesn't affect any unique attack modifiers anyway. You could always get like this of Vlads, so it
Yeah.
doesn't change.
Okay.
It would be good for...
Does Vlad stack with Satanic?
no, the life still doesn't. You only get like the bonus armor and attack damage and stuff from the Vlads.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Obviously.
Diffuser could be good for Satanic users like Terrorblade and stuff. Drum of Endurance. Endurance charges have been increased from 5 to 6. Small buff there. It used to be 4 once. No, it was always 5, I believe. Or was it 4? I don't remember. Yule Scepter needed a nerf, but this is not the nerf that it needed. This is nothing. Recipe cost has been increased by 150 gold from 500 to 650. So it costs a bit more, but it literally still wrecks team fights, and Jakiro is still boss, so Jakiro the Yule Scepter is still boss, so yeah, boss everywhere. Healing Salve reduced from, oh man, this is like, that 5 gold, man. Can I tell you what I'm gonna do with that 5 gold? I'm gonna save 45 more gold and then buy a Clarity, which will give me 15 more mana. When I'm in that mid lane.
Oh,
That mid lane. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
So... Okay, Nev. Since all these things cost less, right? Does it mean I don't have to give you 2
The thing is,
tangles
they never
anymore?
reduced the prices of tangles, so you better give me those 2 tangles, man.
Yeah, but they reduced it in the other patch. They reduced it already in the other patch.
They increased the
From
charge.
150 to 125, I believe.
From 3 to 4, so technically I still have tax, that extra tangle. You can give me 1 tangle now, then I'll get the other tangle from someone else. That's the best deal I can give you right now.
Isn't that what happens
It
anyway?
is, but that's the best deal I can give you. Helm of the Dominated creeps get a bonus health increase from 250 to 500, so Chen again, being the boss that he is. Magic Wand now has 17 charges instead of 15, which is 30 extra HP, which is good in the early game, I guess. But
Can I just ask something quickly?
so
If you Helm of Dominator, a Chen creep, and then Chen steals the Helm of the Dominator
yeah, it keeps
creep,
on getting more.
will that continue
will.
to stack health?
100%.
So we could literally make a creep
Yeah,
which
but
is
the thing is,
unkillable.
the enemy
That also works
has...
with Rubik.
Right,
no,
we're doing
no,
it.
no. The
Okay, I
thing
don't
is,
care, we're doing it.
I think the way the HP will ever stack is if the enemy dominators the creep away from you, and then you steal it back, because it has to be an enemy creep for Chen to give it that bonus health. So unless you talk with the team to see how big a creep you can have during like...
Could we do this to abuse things like Dietite?
People used to do
like
that.
we could make an
People used to
unkillable
do that,
creep
like they'll make an unkillable creep, then Clinks will
with
eat
Pudge.
The reaction works with Rubik as
yeah.
well. If Rubik steals Holy Persuasion, you could literally make a creep with
Then
10,000
give it to
health.
Clinks, then Clinks one-shots
That's true.
everything. Medallion of Courage recipe increased from 200 to 325. Valor can now be cast on allies to give them armor, and the passive armor and exchange armor has been increased from 6 to 7. So you could give your ally 7 armor, literally, with Medallion of Courage. Which
is pretty good.
Especially, like, no carry usually buys this, but a support can give anyone 7 armor for free.
Liking gets it sometimes.
Sometimes, I guess.
see over
Type
here,
of
then.
Insight recipe cost reduced from 900 to 800. Barrier duration increased from 10 to 12. So buffs to pipe.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is
Yeah,
I just
man.
put up a refresher video, and refresher gets nerfed again. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. But anyway,
Motivation,
refresher
boys.
of being nerfed again, because apparently it's still too powerful. Shadow Amulet cost has been reduced, which I think is needed because this part costs more than the Claymore and the Shadow Blade, but does literally almost nothing. Your movement is now only interrupted when the invisibility starts rather than when you cast it, so you can be running and fade and stand still and go invis, which is cool. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
There's some additional changes,
Update
bug
done.
fixes, whatever. Read it yourself. Winter's coming, apparently. So says Valve.
To be fair, the alt click stuff is quite interesting. The only thing that's interesting is now there's some changes to alt click where, like, if you alt click on an enemy bottle, it'll say what thing he's got inside that bottle.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not really anything interesting other than you can, like, alt control click on glyph, and it'll say don't use it.
They put a sound
That's
on the
it.
meme on Sanjin Yasha and on Sanj, so people buy Sanjin Yasha for the
That's
sound
boring.
effects.
And you can alt click items without activation, so don't worry. Your robe of the Magi is
Actually,
ready.
I've always wanted to do that.
And
Yeah, man, your 5 braces
braces
are
ready,
ready.
man.
Don't worry.
one thing that is good, especially for someone like Tommy, is Phantom Assassin. You can no longer see her crits through fog.
No, people
Yes!
will never know when you're in
Oh,
rush.
me and Sam lost the
You
game
now no
because of
longer
that.
pay to lose.
Me and Sam lost the game because of that. Because
That
they knew
was
we were
pretty-
roashing.
Oh,
They
they
saw
need to
my
fix
crits.
Necrophos though, because you
Killed
can
us 3
see the
times.
heal effects. The skulls flying across the screen, you just see randomly when they're in rush pit as well, so they'll need to fix that.
Yeah.
But you can't,
You can't anymore. This is
You can also
fixes
you can see a maelstrom of me on the procs as
there are
well.
a lot of bugs
Again,
with the
this
rush
fixes
pit at the
that.
moment, but they'll fix them. Anyway,
This fixes
the video,
that. Several
people.
effects being erroneous.
That's the video. Goodbye, people.
That's the
Sam
video.
doesn't want to stop speaking.
Can we do it
Bye.
again?
Cut it right here.
Can we do it again?
Goodbye. Shit.
Goodbye.